the channel. If you're new, it's Sahara, and welcome to my first tutorial, my Halloween tutorial of 2018. And this tube top I wear every Halloween so I don't mess with anything else. So a few things I'm going to be using: some paint, a bowl, some craft sticks, spatula sticks, whatever you want to call them, washable lavender colored glue, Elmer's glue, some cosmetic sponges, a bald cap, 3D gel, spirit gum, blood scab, stage blood, itchy burlap, and of course you can't do it without a Scarecrow costume. And maybe even a night parental supervision is advised. So I'm going to start off with this burlap. It is messy too. It goes everywhere. So I did pay $2.97 for this at Walmart. I'm just going to be cutting 3 sections of this burlap for the face. One on each side for the eyes and then one for the mouth. I'm just trying to figure out how big I want everything, just sizing it up to my face. That's what I'm doing now. You guys can do this based on your own preferences, however you want this to look, but I'm just doing it on how I want it to look. And I'm also, when I get the shapes that I want, the size, I'm also going to cut open holes for like the mouth and the eyes, so of course you can still breathe and see out of those areas, and eat and drink if you need to. Do not put burlap by your mouth like this, like I'm doing. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. It went all in my mouth. It was absolutely horrendous. And again, I'm just making the holes for the eyes too. And you always want to make sure to measure it by how it's going to fit onto your eyes and your face. Now that I have both holes for the face, I can fix them up later. I'm going to use the Elmer's washable glue. And again, this is in that purple lavender shade because it dries clear. So now what I'm going to do is just block out the brows. And how you're supposed to do this is my first time doing it as well. You're supposed to put the glue all through the brows, making sure as you first apply it, you make sure you get it all the way through, going back and forth. And not in the hairline, because as you guys know, my hair goes all the way down to my brows, so I have to make sure I don't get it in my actual hair, just on the brows. Now I'm going to take a spoolie and brush them back up in place, and then I'm going to apply some more glue on them, just so if anything got removed while I was spoolieing them back up, I just wanted them back up into, if I say back up one more time, it's like, I just wanted them up, like this, flat on the face, but upward. I am going to let this dry first and fan it to speed up the process, and then I'm going to apply some more glue. But this time when I apply the glue, I'm not going to go back and forth like I did before. I'm just going to apply it upwards, just like this. Now you're going to do this depending on how thick your brows are. Mine are pretty thick, but I just did this twice because I just really didn't feel like doing it anymore. But this just helps the brows lay down so you can block them out so nothing pulls them out. Like when I'm using that spirit gum, I don't want anything to pull it out. So then I'm going to let it dry again. To set them, I'm going to use the Ben 9 Neutral Set powder, and then I'm going to use a powder puff. You want to apply a lot of powder, just pressing it in, not swiping it, because you don't want to disturb the glue or the brows. So just press it in, and then when it's pretty much set and dried, then you could use a brush, like a light brush, like a dual fiber brush, because it won't pull up anything, and then just brush away the excess powder. I'm only showing this like how to do it once, just in case there's anyone that does not know how to do this step. And then any other videos that I do this to block out my brows in, I'll just go off camera and block them out. But I just wanted to show you guys how to do this step now. I wanted to keep it in this video, maybe a long video, but something, sorry not sorry. I'm gonna use the Mehron Paradise Basic paint palette, and I'm going to use that black paint, and I'm going to paint over the brows, around the eyes, and the mouth area. Ow, that really hurt too. Like, I'm saying ow like I can feel it now, but it's like I can feel it when it happened. And I'm also going to use these cosmetic wedges. I did pick these up at the Dollar Tree. It comes with 28 wedges. I was like way better priced than what I paid for when I got it off a Camera Ready Cosmetics site. So I did also make a purchase for some more Halloween stuff, and I was waiting to get it in. That's why it took me so long to actually create a Halloween video. Um, I still didn't receive it yet. It's supposed to be coming, Monday, so hopefully it'll come. And then I can really get started on these videos. It's like all the way into the 6th of this month, and this is my first Halloween video. It sucks, but it is what it is. I'm gonna apply this wig cap on my head first, and then I'm gonna apply the bald cap over it. The reason I'm doing the wig cap first is because it just helps keep my hair down flat. I don't feel like bobby pinning it, so this just helps, but it does add a little bit of thickness under there that I really don't need, but I'm just going to add the bald cap. For those pieces that are still sticking up on the side, I am going to use spirit gum to lay it down flat because the spirit gum is really tacky. You just have to tap it a couple of times to get it tacky, so that's going to help that stay down. Most people apply latex around this part, but that's one of the things that I ordered that didn't come yet. I ordered a latex for sensitive skin because the latex I have now is just a clear one from Ben Nye, and it has too much ammonia in it, and I just don't like it around. It just irritates my skin. But I did have to use it for this video anyway, so it is what it is. But if I didn't have to use it on a part, I wasn't using it, so that's why I had the spirit gum on hand. For this next part, I decided to keep it in there because I'm going to show you guys my trial and error that I went through. I decided to just keep it in the video. So with this 3D gel, you are supposed to put it in hot water to form it into a liquid, because right now it is like a solid gel, or you could put it in a microwave. So what I planned on doing was I planned on pour it into this bowl so it can give me like this 3D realistic creepy shredded eye type of look. I don't know, but it was supposed to like start above the brows and run down to under my eyes and connect right there, but it was not working for the life of me. And I tried it in every way. I poured it into this bowl. I even tried to pour it directly on my face, which that's a big no-no because it was not working out the way I needed it to. And then I even tried to pour it onto some tissue and then put it on my face that way. It's like nothing was working, so I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to work this gel some other time. So what I did is I did it the old school SFX way, and I just took some liquid latex, which you guys already know from the beginning of this tutorial. I did not want to use this liquid latex until I got my sensitive one, but I had to do it anyway. And then I took some cotton balls, cotton pads, tissue, whichever one you want to use. I use cotton pads. I poured the latex only on one side of the cotton pad, and I also drenched these 4 little stringy pieces in the latex as well. I'm going to let it sit and dry, and then I'm also going to use this Ben Nye banana powder. I just showed the difference between the colors of the neutral set and the banana. So this banana has a little bit more of like a orange yellowish tint. It was looking orange today, but usually it looks yellow. And I'm going to speed up the drying process, which is why I always do it. And I also went with the orange one to give me more of an orange tint, since that burlap has that brown tint to it. Just trying to go with the flow. These cotton pads come with like lines in there where you could like rip it apart and make holes. So what I did was I just made a little hole in the middle for the eyes. I'm using spirit gum around the eyes just to help this pad stick onto that part. Again, like I said before, I didn't want to use the latex, especially around the eyes, so that's why I went with the spirit gum instead. To save time, I'm going to go ahead and apply the other pad off camera. Now that I have both of them on my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and adjust that hole to help me see better. I'm going to apply more spirit gum around that area, even on the bald cap, to stick down the burlap as well. I'm applying more spirit gum where I need it to go, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply the other burlap side off camera. Now that I have both of them applied, I'm going to figure out how I want these stringy pieces to look on the lips. I think I want them like in an X shape going across the lips, so that's what I'm going to do. And this time I'm actually going to use the latex to glue them on, because the spirit gum would have just took forever trying to apply it and tap it. I was like, just do the liquid latex, but my skin still feels good after so I didn't have to worry about anything. Right now, I'm just measuring up the mouth part for the burlap to see how it's going to look, and I'm applying spirit gum. It's like I'm going back and forth between a spirit gum and a latex, and I forgot to mention that this is definitely the reason why I apply spirit gum over latex is because obviously the burlap has holes through it, and the latex would just go right through it, so that's why you would rather apply spirit gum over this part. So right now I'm gonna just cut out a little neck piece with the burlap, and you would have thought that I would have did this step when I could actually see something. I'm also going to pull this white string in the burlap to tighten it around the neck part as well, and then that will help it wrap around the neck easily. And then I'm going to bobby pin it, but first, before I do all of that, bobby pin it, more like safety pin it. And then before I do that, I'm going to put on this Scarecrow costume. It's not really like a Scarecrow costume, it's just actually just a two-piece outfit, but I did it just, you know, it has the shredded pieces on the hand, you know, it just goes perfectly, so find what you can. Now I'm gonna go in with the blood, and starting with the blood scab. This was the one from the brand Rubies from Walmart, and it dried out, so that's why it's giving me a hard time to apply it. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much I was struggling, but it is a thicker consistency. That's why it's blood scab. So you put it inside the, the wound, which is kind of like what I'm doing now. And then with the stage blood, it's more of a liquid, so it will run down. This stage blood is from Ben Nye, and thank God since last year it didn't dry out like the blood scab did. I'm using a sponge to stipple it on, and then I'm gonna go in with a brush because the sponge was not cutting it for me. So then I applied it on my neck, which is why I kept those spots open. I was like, let me just apply blood in that area. So this is the part where I use the brush because the sponge just wasn't working. And this is just one of those brushes from the Michaels brush set that I got last year. I think I don't know if it's called Craftsman or whatever, I don't remember. But it's just the brush set from Michaels craft store. So I had to switch to my Sony camera because my Canon camera died, and that burlap was not going to let me wait until it charged. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting some spirit gum on a top of my fingers, and I cut out some little strips to the burlap, and I'm applying it on my fingers. It's like to cover up the my hands a little bit, and to also make it look like they're like nails and a part of the skin or whatever. So that's what I'm doing now, and I deeply regret this part. No, I don't regret it. I don't deeply regret it, but I sort of regret it because this burlap and the spirit gum really got stuck to my fingers, so it was just a mess. The worst thing ever. So now what I'm just doing is cutting the extra parts off so it'll look more pointy towards the end. It would have been better if it would have covered up all of my skin, but it was just too much to do alone. A lot of this stuff was just made up as I went along, so that's why it wasn't done prior to me actually filming this when I could see something. So I also had help tying this around my arms because I wanted some extra burlap on the arm part. I'm going to put on my hat, and that will complete this look. You can also stuff your body too to make it look like, it's a little puffy here and there around the stomach area, and that will complete this look. I hope you guys enjoyed my first tutorial of Halloween 2019. We went through some trial and errors in this, but we got through. We made it through, and now we got a scary voodoo. No, I'm just kidding. So, see you guys next time. Bye!